Hello everyone, and today I want to show you some videos that are pretty, misinforming. They try to explain quasi-conductivity, which is really a simple concept. It's essentially when the piston, or there's pistons, droppers, dispensers, they're the only things affected by quasi-conductivity, where the piston pretends that it's one block upwards, and so if that block is powered, then the piston here is powered. So that can be easily checked by just putting a redstone lamp right above the piston. If the redstone lamp is powered, the piston should also be powered. But there's no reason to overcomplicate it, as this video will do. So if you just search up how quasi-connectivity works and ignore the ads, the first video that shows up is this one, Redstone Rulebook Quasi-Connectivity and Basic Connectivity by wi So let's watch it. Alright, so before we start, I just want to mention that this is not going to be a hate video, and I don't want to make videos like that, but the problem is that this video actually says some stuff that is just plain wrong. And if you go into the comments, people are actually thanking him. So yeah, just like, as you'll see in the video, some of the stuff that he's saying is just wrong. Like, I want to point out that it's okay not to know something, right? It's totally okay, that's how we learn things. But what's not really okay is when you don't know something, but you still try to teach it. So yeah, but anyway, let's just get into the video.
Hey guys, my name is Vivi's. Welcome back to Redstone Rulebook. Today, we're going to be taking a look at quasi-connectivity, Wi-Fi's connectivity, aka basic connectivity, as well as a few bug updates.
Alright, so first of all, I want to mention, what is Wi-Fi's connectivity? It's like, I don't understand. But I guess you'll explain it. Let's move on.
Quasi-connectivity and Wi-Fi's connectivity. Yes, I'm calling it that because I don't actually know the proper name for it.
But, so I've already watched this video, and you'll see what it is.
We'll be starting off with Wi-Fi's connectivity.
Great, we're gonna start off with Wi-Fi's connectivity. That's what I really want to know.
Basic connectivity. Droppers, lamps, and pistons. And
Okay, why only droppers, lamps, and pistons?
it acts as such. So you've already learned that if we place a piston and a lever above it or to the side of it, if we press either one of these levers, the piston will extend, as the lever is powering this block, which powers the piston. And all well and good. However, here comes Wi-Fi's connectivity. The red block is direct affected area. The purple block is dependent, and the blue block doesn't get affected. What do I mean by this? If I were to place a piston right underneath this piston, it doesn't look like there's anything powering it, right? There looks like there's nothing. There's this piston should not be activated because the only thing being powered is this piston. However, this touches upon quantum connectivity, but it's pretty much the basic connectivity rule of Minecraft. Pistons, lamps, and droppers and dispensers, of course, all have this in common. This
Alright, this is quasi-connectivity. There's nothing else, okay? Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about with these regions, like the blue thing, the red wool that he had, and this purple wool. This is just quasi-connectivity, okay, as I mentioned before. This piston here. So, it's also, in the code, it's gonna check blocks around the block above it. So it's gonna check blocks around this block, where this other piston is. So that would be like this wool block, which in this case is powered. Therefore, the block above it is powered. Therefore, the piston here is powered.
What's pretty interesting about this is that the piston, it connects with the piston.
Right. No, the piston doesn't connect anything. It would still work perfectly fine if the piston wasn't there. The issue is that the piston wouldn't be there to send out a block update. It's not actually transmitting any redstone power, it's just updating this piston below, letting it know, you're powered, you should extend. If this piston wasn't there, this piston wouldn't, realize that it's powered, but it still will be. So, yeah, the only difference, the only thing that this piston does is just update this piston, let it know, hey, you're powered, you should extend. Alright, so yeah, he just pretty much continued to tell us that there's different positions, which is not really true. I mean, obviously, like, you can't power it from a certain position, but it's kind of obvious. You just kind of pretend that the piston is the block above it, and then you see if that's powered, and if it is, then the piston here is powered, the piston below. Alright, but now he's going to proceed to tell us that lamps experience quasi-connectivity. Let's see what that is.
The same thing works with lamps as well. There should be nothing powering this lamp.
Alright, no. There should be something powering this lamp. Because lamps are solid blocks. Meaning that if you power it, then it will give a redstone output. That also means that if you put another lamp next to it, no matter where it is, they're all gonna get powered because this central block is powered. It doesn't even matter that it's a lamp. It could be another solid block, like concrete. Still works, okay? I don't see where the quasi-connectivity is. Because lamps actually do not experience quasi-connectivity. Like, look, so this, if it was piston, it would be experiencing quasi-connectivity. So I updated it, You can see the piston extended, the lamp didn't extend or anything. So yeah, lamps do not experience quasi-conductivity. That's just how it's coded. Only pistons, droppers, and dispensers experience quasi-conductivity. It's just how it's coded in Minecraft. Yeah, I don't really see what he's trying to, say with this.
They both get power. Something to note, it's not the identical thing with lamps. This does not power both.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's the problem because he just pretty much explains why he's wrong. This proves that lamps don't experience quasi-connectivity. Okay, quasi-connectivity is just the behavior that if the block above it is powered, then the block here is powered. Obviously, this block above here, it's powered, but this lamp down here is not powered, therefore lamps do not experience quasi-connectivity.
So when would you use this? So right now I have the example of droppers. You're gonna have to trust me that droppers work the same way. And this is that
Okay, he's right here, droppers do work the same way, but there's no quasi-connectivity actually going on here.
previous video. It's been designed for a T flip-flop. And the way it works, the reason it works is because this dropper,
No, this is again the same thing. This isn't a good example because this button is powering this dropper like normally. It's normally powering this dropper. This dropper is powered. This dropper, like, because this is a solid block, this dropper below here also realizes, hey, yeah, I'm powered. I should drop or whatever. Also, by the way, did he have a redstone dust up there? He had a redstone dust up. Why? Why? You don't need that redstone dust because this dropper here, I don't see what he's going for here because like this dropper it's obviously powered from this button. This dropper here in the back is powered from this button powering this dropper, which is a solid block, therefore this dropper in the back gets powered. And this dropper down here is getting powered the same way this dropper is, because this is a solid block. I don't see why this redstone dust needs to be here, but that's a technicality. I'm not gonna really, bully him because of that. Just saying, like, maybe learn a little bit more about how redstone works.
this is called a gem door. It is the very first redstone contraption that I learned.
Alright, so yeah, he's correct. That contraption actually does use quasi-conductivity. Nothing to point out there, except again, he's gonna say that the piston is transferring the power, which is not true. But yeah, we already mentioned that, so I'm just gonna skip ahead. Okay, now he's gonna try to explain quasi-connectivity. Quasi-connectivity is literally with what he's been talking about, okay? There's no, what he called Wi-Fi's connectivity, that's not really a thing. He just named it after himself for some reason.
As a fundamental theorem, just like algebra or calculus or whatever, fundamental rule of quasi connectivity. Anytime you have a scenario where a piston, you want to know if it's being quasi powered. Well, the way to figure it out is that if, let's just pretend, there is an imaginary lamp above that piston, anytime there's a powered lamp, a piston below it will always be powered.
Alright, this is actually correct. This is the correct way to explain it. Okay, but I don't see what this asterisk is about because lamps powered by connectivity. I don't see what it means because lamps, again, as I said, aren't affected by quasi connectivity. So yeah, I don't see what there is about this rule that there's an exception. If the lamp is powered, the piston is powered. Period.
That is the fundamental rule. That might seem very simple or very complicated, and let me demonstrate. So right now, this works. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, it does work. So that is true, and that's a good explanation. Yeah, let's just skip ahead. Alright, so now he's gonna show some examples about this, and this is where he really gets into stuff where, like, he's actually telling us the wrong thing.
when the repeater does turn on, it will power the piston as well.
Yes, that is true.
I have a similar example right here, and the interesting thing about quasi connectivity is that it doesn't go sideways.
Yeah, it doesn't go sideways, because if you do the same thing with a lamp with this piston above here, if you imagine a lamp above this piston, this lamp is not getting powered.
We have this. This is very strange. Another thing that works is that if the so where's our imaginary lamp? Well, our imaginary lamp is right here.
Yeah, okay, imaginary lamp right there. I don't see why he needs to point out this example here because it's literally the exact same thing. The lamp is being powered, therefore the piston will be powered.
And now we can combine that with Wi-Fi's connectivity.
Okay, let's see that. That's gonna be interesting. Combining quasi-connectivity with Wi-Fi's connectivity.
Because as you all know, as I hope I explained, quasi connectivity does not work sideways. However, Wi-Fi's connectivity works downwards.
What? Alright, he just said quasi-connectivity doesn't work sideways, but it works downwards. Now he's saying Wi-Fi's connectivity also works downward. I don't see the difference, okay? I don't see what's so special about Wi-Fi's connectivity. Because it's not anything, there's nothing except quasi-connectivity in the code. Like, I don't know what he's kind of coming up with here.
Which means, bear with me here, this piston, when it turns on, will Wi-Fi's connect with this one. So
Oh no. Okay, yeah, this is bad, bad. Okay. Okay, so his from what I understand actually now, because the first time around I didn't exactly understand what he was meaning by Wi-Fi's connectivity, but here we have the exact same example. If we put the piston here, it's gonna be the exact same thing. And his claim is that this piston conducts power to this piston down here. Not true. Imagine we remove this piston, same thing happens, this piston still extends. Because if we imagine the thing with the lamp above this piston is powered, the lamp above this piston is also powered, therefore these two pistons are powered. I don't see what's really so hard to understand about that, and why he needs to make a totally different system with freaking Wi-Fi's connectivity. I don't see the point.
all three of these, by association, will turn on, and this one will not.
Yeah, this one will not, because if we place the lamp here in this spot, then the lamp will not be powered.
This is extremely confusing.
It's only extremely confusing if you make it that way. It's not really that confusing. Imagine the piston with a lamp above it. If the lamp is powered, the piston is powered. What's so confusing?
Let's pretend the imaginary lamp was in fact here. That works.
Yes, that works. I don't know why he had to make up a whole nother system about the Wi-Fi's connectivity.
Even if there's no piston, quasi connectivity. So
Yeah, yeah. So, what does Wi-Fi's connectivity do that quasi-connectivity does? That's my question, okay? What does Wi-Fi's connectivity do that quasi-connectivity cannot do? Because his claim is that if we put a piston above here, the piston will conduct redstone power to here. So, yeah, but that's not really true, okay? That's not true.
this connectivity is just a simpler, shorter outlet or example of quasi connectivity.
It's not simpler at all, okay? There's Quasi connectivity is simple. Wi-Fi's connectivity is nothing different than what quasi connectivity is supposed to be. So like, I don't even have words for this. Like, what? All right, now he's gonna try to explain BUDs. If you don't know, BUD stands for Block Update Detector. So essentially, if you place a block or remove a block or anything like that, then the BUD should be able to detect that and output something, or somehow show that it detects that. So let's see how he explains it.
But it can be very useful.
Yes, they can be.
Pretty much connectivity with an interesting benefit. So let's say we have a lamp right here. The lamp is powered, but these pistons aren't turning on. I really personally actually am not sure. Actually, I'm sorry, there's actually nothing in the
Okay, what? Sorry, what? The block. Um, okay, so he's going for butting both of these pistons, but he could have just butted this one. You don't have to put the block here, because he's only putting the lamp above this piston, implying that he only wants to bud this piston, so we don't have to have a block there. I don't see. But I guess his point is to bud this piston as well. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of confusing.
It's because they have to be updated. And
Okay, they have to be updated. Let's go with that. Let's see what he says about that. I'm kind of interested.
so these pistons are actually powered by this lamp. This one should be powered.
Not by the lamp, by these blocks. This piston is powered by technically both of these blocks, and this piston is powered by this block. The lamp doesn't do anything. The lamp just tells you if the piston should be powered or not. It's just a tool, kind of like a microscope or something, or like a magnifying lens if you want to see something up close. In this case, our lamp is our microscope. It tells us if the piston should be powered.
But it doesn't know it. And that is because redstone is a soft power.
Okay, alright. Let's talk about this. He thinks this is false. The reason is that our imaginary and real lamps are indirectly powered by a block in our case. No, he thinks it's false, which he is correct. That was false what he just said. But this, what he said as well, is also false. If he like directly powered it, then it wouldn't be quasi-connectivity, okay? If he directly like put a lever on this lamp, it wouldn't be quasi-connectivity anymore. This is quasi-connectivity. The reason here is that these pistons don't receive a block update from the blocks. Blocks, when they get powered, they don't give out block updates. The redstone gives out block updates for 2 blocks away, but the piston is further than that. So yeah, this is the part that can sometimes be a little bit confusing. It's the block updates. So in this case, I'm only going to talk about the type of block updates that can update the piston, okay? I'm not talking about observer updates or anything because it's a whole nother story. But pretty much This redstone, it's gonna give out block updates around itself, directly around itself, and to right here and right here. So if there was a piston here, then it would be updated, and therefore it would realize it was powered. That's why redstone does give out updates for 2 blocks away, so that if it's powering something through a block, then yeah. But it doesn't give out updates for more than that, so this redstone dust is powering this block, right? This block is going to be quasi-connectivity powering this piston, so if we do the same thing with the lamp is powered, therefore this piston would be powered, but nothing actually updated this piston. And you might be thinking, why doesn't the lamp update the piston? This is kind of technical, but it's the wrong type of update, okay? In Minecraft, in the code, the updates have a different type of tag, so this gives out a different type of update, which doesn't update the piston. So yeah, the lamp is pretty much just telling us, again, as I said, the lamp is only telling us that this piston should be powered, but nothing updated this piston. And so he said something about soft powering. If I hard power this block as well, then nothing's really gonna change because yeah, again, the repeater, it would give out block updates to this block right here, and then to blocks around that block here. So that's how the repeater would give out block updates. And as you can see, the piston that we had down here, it doesn't receive updates because, as I said, the repeater only updates the blocks where I put glass here. So the piston didn't receive an update, therefore we have to power it again. It has nothing to do with soft or hard powering. I don't know what he's talking about. But yeah, let's continue with the video.
Redstone torches and levers hard powered blocks, and redstone dust soft powers blocks.
Okay, he's correct that redstone torches and levers do hard power blocks. He's incorrect that that makes a difference about the piston. Whether the piston extends or doesn't by default is totally dependent on whether or not it receives a block update. So if it didn't receive a block update when it got powered, it won't extend until it receives a block update.
This redstone lamp should be quasi connecting to this one, and it is.
It is correct. Uh, is it, technically, I don't know if what he meant by this exactly, but the lamp isn't the one that's connecting to the piston. These 2 blocks are connecting to the piston. The lamp doesn't do anything. As I said, it's only a tool to tell you if the piston is powered or not. Now, I just thought of a really good way to illustrate this about the block updates. You may know this. This is how you build TNT dupers. You push over a detector rail. And the thing about this is when you push over a powered detector rail, it doesn't give out any more block updates. So yeah, you can see now the detector rail is powering this block down here. Like you can see if I place a piston anywhere here, then the piston is powered because this block is powered by this detector rail. As you can see, it's red. But the piston here on the side didn't get updated because that's just how rails work. Don't worry about it. But yeah, it has nothing to do about hard powering or soft powering. This block is hard powered. By the way, I just want to mention this is not quasi connectivity. I just wanted to illustrate this so you can see what the difference is like, or what about the block updates. So yeah, as you can see when I give it a block update, then the piston extends. But yeah, it's the same deal here. The piston here is now receiving a block update. When I give it a block update by placing a block, for example, when you place a block here, it gives it a block update, and this block update tells it that it should be extended. It has nothing to do with whether any blocks here are hard or soft powered. So yeah, I don't know what he's exactly trying to say there.
This piston won't extend until it's given an update. So when we update it, just updating the block state next to it. So updated, and by
Yeah, updated that. That's cool. Except updating the block state or changing the block state at all, it doesn't exactly always update it. So this redstone lamp changed block state because it got powered, but it didn't update this piston. So that's just a little technicality, and it's really technical about these different types of block updates. That's just a little technicality that the block state, just because it changes doesn't mean it gives it an update. Yeah, so from now on, over here, he's gonna say pretty much nothing new. I wanna come over to here.
and how do we use bugs in our builds?
I wanna come over here. This is funny. If you're an actual technical Minecrafter or redstoner, you'll know why this is funny. Right. Um, so let me place an observer clock here. Let me place the hopper like he put over there. And let's place a piston, right? Now let's quasi-connectivity power this piston. So we can just place a button here, and that will, yes, work. But let's observe something interesting, because this is the funny part. If we place this dropper clock, or this, if we place this observer clock a little bit away here, so it's powering this hopper through a block, because he's about to say that this hopper is the one that's giving updates to the piston.
Well, here is something that I've sort of invented. Just kidding.
Okay, he sort of invented it. He invented it wrongly. Just watch this.
The hopper doesn't power, it's transparent. However, it does change states.
Okay, and this is the muddy stuff. When stuff changes state, it doesn't necessarily give out the correct kind of block update. So if I QC powered this piston, you might think when I make this hopper powered, so it just got locked on, then it would give out a block update, but no, that's not how it works. So, going over here, if we place this a bit away and this hopper is getting powered through this block, nothing happens. If you know why, you know why. That's amazing. If you don't know why, hoppers, lamps, fence gates, some other stuff like that, it doesn't actually give out a block update when it gets powered, or it doesn't give out the right kind of block update for the piston. Okay. What was actually updating it? This is the funny part. Was the observers. Okay. The observers themselves were updating this piston. That's the really hilarious part. Like, I really want to say, like, ever tried not putting the hopper there? But yeah. Alright, so I want to show you something else that's pretty cool in my opinion. This is not directly intended, but here you can see in this hopper we have some slime blocks, right? And in the chest we have one piston, or so it doesn't matter what it is, it's just so that this is different than what's in here. This hopper has to be unlocked, and it has to have different items so the hopper doesn't actually suck up what was inside of this chest. And what's really interesting is that this comparator actually gives out an update every game tick, which is weird. I'm not sure if it's exactly intended, but it's how it works. So as you can see, this piston does get an update. If I remove that comparator, so the piston is not getting updated anymore, yeah, you can see the piston doesn't actually extend because it doesn't realize that it should be powered. I think this is 100% something you're not obligated to know or anything when you do technical Minecraft, but it's just something kind of cool that the comparator would always give out block updates every game tick. When it's in this sort of configuration, when we have the hopper with blocks, or hopper with some certain item, and then we have one different item inside of the chest, then yeah, it's in simple terms, and I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on this, but it's pretty much the hopper is trying to take out items from the chest. The chest doesn't want to give out items, but yeah, the comparator somehow interprets that as something, so it gives out an update to the piston. I would give out updates everywhere in where I place the glass block here, so if we have anything where we place the glass block, then it's going to be updated. So like the piston here would be updated by the comparator. If we place the piston here and used QZ, then both the pistons will also be updated because they're both in place of, yeah, some blocks that I placed, because that's just how the comparator updates. That's nothing new. What's kind of maybe probably new for most of you is that, yeah, this gives out updates. I just wanted to share that cool little fact. If you watched some Mumbo videos where he went back into his redstone testing world, like his old one, he said he used, I believe, fence gates to update pistons and stuff. So like you could have this sort of situation where there would be a fence gate here updating this piston. At this point, this doesn't work because, as I said, they realized that probably the defense gate, there was no need for the fence gate to be able to update some pistons, so they changed a different type of update. So yeah, that's just some interesting stuff. Something that does give out a block update for some reason is the note block. I believe this changed in 1.13. So I have a note block here. The note block does give out a block update. So yeah, that's just something to note. And this is something you often see in flying machines and stuff, where you have like note blocks, yeah, updating pistons. But yeah, let's get back to the video.
The observer clock, just like so. And then I place a hopper right here. This
Oh, it's kind of funny. I promised I wouldn't say this again, but I just have to, like, that he never actually tried not putting a hopper there. And what's even funnier is that by his logic, the hopper powering should update this piston. So technically, by his logic, this observer clock shouldn't be necessary because this block is powering this hopper. So if he was using, like, the logic that he just said, you wouldn't even need this observer clock because when this block would be powered, yeah, this hopper would be powered. And by his logic, again, as I said, which is not true, but you should think that this piston would be powered. So he technically, one way or another, with his logic or the correct logic, either the observer clock or the observer doesn't need to be there. But for real, actually, you don't need the observer at all. The observer is completely useless. It's just a waste of your 7 iron. So yeah. just the observer clock is fine. Also, if you put, like, as I said before, a note block here or something, or another piston, those are a couple things that do give out block updates, so yeah. As well as that droppers, but droppers are kind of annoying to work with droppers because, yeah, they can get QZ powered as well, and they can get stuck into the, like, into the powered state. So oftentimes just either use, like, note blocks, or if you need to, another piston.
Piston at the bottom will now know when it should be on and when it same principle. Let's say there was redstone dust, meaning the piston underneath it by association will be powered as well.
Okay, so here you just explained the magic button, but as I said, you don't need this hopper. And as I also said, you could use a much cooler trick, which is using, yeah, the chest, the comparator, and the hopper to update this piston every game tick, so I don't know what just happened there. But yeah, that's much cooler. Not that you need to use it at all, but it prevents stuff like brinking hoppers, which if you have a lot of those, maybe that can affect your FPS sometimes. So yeah, this is just a better option in my opinion, because also it updates faster. It updates every game tick versus the hopper clock. The hopper clock, depending on how you place it, it's either going to be a 6 game tick clock or a 4 game tick clock. Like if you push in an observer with the piston, then it's going to be a 4 game tick clock. If you just place the observers, then it's going to be a 6 game tick clock. Alright, but now it's pretty much the end of this video. He just finishes up by saying that classic connectivity is interesting and useful and stuff. But now I want to look at another video that's even more funny in my opinion, because you'll see why. Alright, so now here, this is actually a good video. Okay, this is not the one I want to. This is not one I want to say is bad. Because it's very good. I've watched it before and it's very correct. So yeah, if you want to watch this one's a good one. Made by this Drake Fuzz. So yeah, but also as you can see in his description, he mentions that some blocks don't give out block updates when they change states. As I mentioned before, like hoppers, trapdoors, fence gates, stuff like that, they don't give out block updates when they change states. But yeah, he does a really good job also mentioning that bud powering and quasi-connectivity is not the same thing. Because a lot of people from watching this Mumble video got the idea that bud powering is quasi-connectivity. It's not. Here's an example of bud powering that does not use quasi-connectivity. This redstone block is here to power this redstone dust. This redstone block is just to redirect it. So when I remove that, the redstone dust actually redirects into this block. So now you should think that this block should be able to conduct redstone, which it does, but this piston didn't actually receive a block update. So that's bud powering, essentially when you have something in an invalid state and you can update it to make it in a valid state. The one I want to watch is this one. What is quasi-connectivity and how you can use it in redstone builds? So I'm gonna fast forward through a lot of stuff here because some of it is accurate, but I'll show you when we get to funny stuff.
So how it works is it's powering a piston or a different redstone component that works with this. So you can use droppers, dispensers, and also you can use redstone lamps, but they work a little bit differently.
I'm getting some vibes from this video here. Yeah, he's also saying that redstone lamps are affected by cosmic activity, which they're not. But yeah, let's continue.
So it's powering stuff through items. So like this piston has been powered through this piston here has been powered through that.
Again, getting any vibes from this video? Piston down here getting powered through this. Let's skip ahead because he just mentions this door, which incidentally does use quasi-connectivity, just not in the way he think it does, because he thinks that this piston down here is getting powered through this piston. It's not.
One of my favorites is the T flip. So here is
Right, he's also going through the T flip-flop. But I'm proud of him. He didn't put a redstone dust up here. Okay, this one realizes you don't need a redstone dust, but still, dropper dropper T flip-flop getting vibes from this video.
there's a T flip flop right here that uses
Which, as I said, the dropper T flip-flops doesn't show any quasi-connectivity. There's no quasi-connectivity going on in here. So this shouldn't even really be mentioned.
and what's really nice about this is you can put redstone on top of it.
Yeah, correct. But watch this is kind of funny.
Even though I'm not too sure. I think yeah.
Okay, he makes a video without even knowing how it works. It wouldn't power this, and he just realized that you're not supposed to teach people things you don't know.
And redstone does too. Now this is a bit different because this one you actually have to update it. So you have to have a block updater. Right here, I'll show you this.
Oh my god, this is the exact same block updater. Remember in this video? This is the exact same block updater with the redstone observer clock and the hopper. You don't know how funny this is. This is, yeah.
But this works by having it in soft powering, so you have
Soft powering. Guys, remember what he said here? Soft powering. Now, I'm literally starting to think that this person just watched this video here because you can see this video was made before this video. This one's 10 months ago, this one's a year ago. It's more than a year ago, actually. But I'm starting to think this person, Gecko, he just copied this video, pretty much. Right now, he just shows off this supposed block update detector, which does work. But as I said, you don't need the hopper. You don't need the hopper. It's just... Why? Alright, now he's gonna try to explain the thing with the lamp quasi-connectivity, which is not quasi-connectivity. It's not quasi-connectivity. This block here is powered. Like, this block conducts power. Therefore, this block, since it's right next to here, if you put lamps to the side here, it would also work. This is no different than anything else. The only quasi-connectivity that happens ever is with pistons, droppers, and dispensers. And I don't know about newer versions, because in newer versions, maybe like if you're watching this like 10 years later or whatever, then maybe they added some more stuff that uses quasi-connectivity, that does apply to quasi-connectivity. But lamps don't. Lamps don't and never did ever, yeah, QC power.
so this is a bit different.
But yeah, okay, he just mentioned this is a bit different. Because it is, it's so different. It's not quasi-connectivity. Why is it even in this video? He just essentially copied everything this guy did and decided to make his own video about it. No, that's not how things are supposed to work, okay? And it's so hilarious because not even copying the right stuff, he copied the wrong tutorial. He copied the wrong explanation on quasi-connectivity. And I think I mentioned this, but I don't mean this to be a hate video, but the problem is that you put stuff on the internet. If you put it on the internet, just like expect it to get the feedback it deserves because he's just putting out stuff that's plain wrong. Okay, this is wrong. Lamps do not get quasi-connectivity powered. The piston does not conduct redstone. Piston does not conduct redstone. You don't need the hopper there. The hopper doesn't give out the block update. He's just saying wrong stuff.
You can't power this as redstone lamps are on their own with this sort of stuff.
No, oh my god. Okay, the explanation for that piston not being powered is that redstone lamps are in a different category of redstone stuff. That's not true. So as you can see, the piston doesn't get powered. But if we do give it an update, then that piston will get powered. If this piston somehow receives, yeah, block update, so like for example, no block, let's say no block, then the piston will extend. And yeah, all it really needs is a block update. As long as it's QC powered, it just needs a block update. That's all it is.
Like the droppers. So if I have like a dropper and a sticky piston, so if I put a dropper here, sticky piston. Actually, I should have had this like that. Drop.
Okay, no, I don't see like
See that doesn't.
he just did the exact same scenarios with the lamps and he said no that doesn't work because he's right. It doesn't work because droppers are exactly like pistons. They don't update in the exact same way because pistons they have all the extension stuff and droppers they just give a one block update and it's at a different time in the tick. But it doesn't matter because the droppers they're affected by QC just the same way as pistons are. Alright, so yeah, I don't see what his point is here because the droppers are exactly like pistons. The dropper didn't update the piston properly, so yeah, it was that sort of deal. But yeah, let's move on.
Basic a piston.
Okay, when he replaced it with a piston, the piston gave out the correct kind of block update at the correct time, I mean. And yeah, the piston below it did extend, so yeah.
Both of them will go off.
Yeah, both of the droppers will go off. That's just a little difference. It's not really a difference in how they're powered, okay? He's talking about quasi-connectivity, which is the way that things can be powered, but it's just the only difference is the type of, or the block updates, okay? The only difference is the block updates. Other than that, they're the exact same thing. They power the exact same way. Lamps are not part of this QZ category.
Too short this book, so maybe.
Again, he's not too sure. This is hilarious. Okay, guys, you don't make a video when you're not too sure about something. Because obviously, no, this would not work with the lamps, because lamps do not get QZ powered. but he's not even too sure. That's just the funny part to me. Okay, this is the most fun I've had in a long time.
Doesn't it? This connectivity works a bit differently to pistons, I guess anyway.
He would guess anyway, again, giving the same sort of vibes that, like, he's just guessing as he's making the video.
So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it really useful.
Really useful? Uh, okay, again, I don't mean to be mean or anything here, but yeah, it's pretty, like, it's wrong. It's just wrong. And what's crazy is these two videos, so this one's at the very top of the videos. Then we obviously have Mumbo's video. This one's a very good one. I do recommend you check this one out if you want something refreshing from these two videos. The Mumble one, as I said, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's a perfect explanation, but it's okay. And again, this one. So this one's the first video that you see. This one's the fourth one that you see. How is this a thing? And then you have mine. I'm actually surprised that mine is so high up. I thought it would be like way down here or something, but it's even above Mango's. But I explain it with the code. And fun fact, whenever I make these thumbnails, I actually do use the code that I show in the video. So if you really like want to see, then this is actually the exact same code that's in the pistons. So yeah, just fun fact about my thumbnails, they do use the correct code and stuff. So yeah. But anyway, yeah guys, that's gonna be it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. This is a new type of video. I'm not sure if I want to do too many of these because that's not really what the style of my channel is like. I normally just do technical videos, like not pointing out stuff in other videos, but I felt that this needed to be said because people are actually thanking these people for teaching them the ways of quasi-connectivity, which is, yeah, it's just, I don't understand. Like, I just don't want people to be misinformed about this, okay? So I want you to, when you're playing Minecraft, to have the full knowledge of what's going on there. And the problem with these videos, it wasn't even incomplete, it was wrong. So, yeah, but, I mean, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more technical Minecraft content, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.